Kiana Hines, your personal certified holistic nutritionist, and that's my plant Sophia in the back. So, thank you for joining us today for another topic on Nourishment 101. Today, we're going to discuss the female menstrual cycle. This is a topic that's very near and dear to me, obviously, since I'm a woman, but I struggled with my menstrual cycle for years, and ladies, just to let you know, it doesn't have to be that way. So, let me get into why. First of all, menstru is Latin and it means monthly. Cycle is just something that recurs over and over again. So when we're speaking of the female menstrual cycle, we're talking about a physiological process that occurs in our uterus when the endometrium, which is the inner lining of the uterus, is torn out monthly, month after month after month. Okay, so in America and most countries where we're eating processed foods, this is the case. But there are some women who do not have bleeding during this time. Even though you still have a menstrual cycle, it doesn't mean that you have to bleed. And it doesn't mean that if you're not bleeding, you can't get pregnant. See, there are a lot of women that can still get pregnant and have babies just because it's natural for us to do that without having to bleed. Bleeding is the unnatural part. Although it's normal today because it has become the standard for many industrialized countries, but it is not natural. So let's take a look at what I mean by that. The monkeys, the apes, the gorillas, even some rodents and bats, they have monthly menstrual cycles as well because they're mammals. But do they bleed? No. I mean, could you really imagine leaving a trail of blood in the wild for days? Anyway, I repeat, they do not bleed. And these animals are very close to the structure of the human body, especially like the monkeys and apes and gorillas. Well, what happens if they're not bleeding? Their endometrium, instead of being torn out, is actually reabsorbed back into their bodies. This saves so much energy, so much blood, and it doesn't cause any pain. The pain is when it's been torn out and shed. And the reason that our bodies shed our endometrium is because we are toxic to the 10th degree. And it's because we eat so many processed foods today. But in nature, animals, they naturally know which foods are designed for their bodies, and that's what they go to. So when you're in that environment that's natural to you and you're eating foods that are natural to your body, you're not all conditioned to eat, foods that come from a factory, then you can actually thrive. And I know a lot of you are not going to agree with me because of religious reasons or just tradition or what you've been taught growing up. But if bleeding was the case with all women, then there would be nothing to discuss. What triggers the endometrium to become thicker in the first place is an increase in estrogen. Can you think of a place where we're getting a lot of estrogen from, where it is actually too much that is going into our bodies and triggering young women now to begin bleeding and starting their menstrual cycles at a younger and younger age, like 10, 11, and 12? Exactly. Milk. You said it. So animal milk, especially cow milk, is very high in estrogen and protein. Our toxic buildup is from too much protein. Too much protein is acidic to our body because protein is not supposed to come from an outside source. Your body has the ability to make protein. It makes protein from building up amino acids that we get from plants, which is the same place that the animals we eat get their protein or their amino acids. The truth is, our bodies are designed to save our lives. We take toxins away from our heart. With men, they have a lot more heart attacks than us because they don't have another vessel to bleed out of like we do. So this is why our bodies are exceptional and why we should treat them with more respect than we do. They're really trying to save us. We develop tumors and cysts on our ovaries, and those are also packed with toxins. But tumors and cysts can be reduced with a natural diet instead of being surgically removed. This has been done many times. I've actually done it with some of my clients. I had a client that had a brain tumor, and instead of her having surgery, her last MRI showed that the brain tumor was gone, and all she did was just follow a diet that I had given her. So if I can help her, then I can help you. Just take heed in what I'm saying and try as much as you can to eliminate dairy and a lot of other processed foods from your diet. You've probably guessed by now where breast cancer comes from. Again, our bodies are so wicked smart that it's trying to remove the toxins through every portal that it can. Our bodies send toxins through our milk ducts to try to get rid of them. Unfortunately, they just get trapped there. But this is where breast cancer comes from. This is where fibroids and uterine cysts develop. This is because we are too toxic. So when a woman gets pregnant, what is the first thing that normally happens with most women through the first 3 months? She can't bleed anymore because now that blood is being reserved for the newborn fetus. So her body makes her throw up within that first 3 months to try to get as much toxin out of her as possible to make a great, comfortable, and safe environment for that new baby. Now, I know a lot of this information is new for many of you, but just go do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Go research it yourself. I promise you, you'll find a lot of similarities in what I'm saying here. If you learned something new today, just subscribe. I'll be able to do more videos on different topics, but I do need to know that you're rocking with me. So let me know that this information means something to you, and I hope you join me next time on Nourishment 101. Again, I'm Kiana Hines, and thank you for watching.